It's Pop Trigger time! Woo! Yes, yes, yes. Hey everyone, I'm Sam Shocker. Thanks for tuning in. We have a really good show today. So without further ado, our co-host today, she's back in the Pop Trigger studio from NFL AM on the NFL Network. Erin Coscarelli is here.
So awesome.
Thank you guys.
So awesome.
Thank you so much.
So excited to have Erin, so stay tuned because we're going to have an interview with Erin and a Q&A. And Brett Ehrlich, make sure you catch him on Viral Video Film School.
What is that? Is that a Pop Trigger shirt? You can't buy that yet. You will be able to soon, from what I hear.
How do you have a Pop Trigger shirt and I
Sam doesn't?
Thank you, Erin.
Hey, Jesus,
Whoa.
I went over and he had a box of them.
Okay.
And
Well,
he's like, someday those will be in the Pop Trigger store. And I was like, there's a Pop Trigger store?
I'm just wondering where the cutoff one is that you have.
ooh.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's
like,
at home.
Yeah, you know how that
The midriff?
The midriff.
The
Yeah.
mini?
You'll see that about town.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I
you
head
can't
out
wear it
on my rollerblades through town.
I want to see Brett in a mini. Speaking of minis, I got a mini haircut.
Oh, so gorgeous.
Yes, I did. And you can catch me live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern on Dr. Drew on Call. All right, let's get to know Erin a little bit more.
Okay.
So last time Erin was here, you were not at the NFL Network.
No.
This is huge, you guys. So Erin is the host of NFL AM at the NFL Network, and you got to cover the Super Bowl this year. So what was that like?
So I was at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. I was covering the 49ers,
Yep.
the Giants, and the Warriors, as we were talking about a little bit before the show got started. And now, I work for the NFL Network. I love it so much. It's a lot of fun. And I get to cover my favorite sport now all the time, 24/7, because even though the NFL isn't currently in season, there's a lot to talk about during the offseason.
Like what? What are you guys
The
talking
free
about?
agency.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you follow it, but there was like a huge trade. Sam Bradford for Nick Foles, with the
Yes.
Eagles and the Rams. LaShawn McCoy going to the Bills.
There was news
Nico
to-
Alonso going to the Eagles. So much news.
Fining the Falcons for pumping noise into
Yeah,
the
I
the
mean,
stadium.
you know, it's
What happened?
I'm
there's
just saying, there's things. There's things
just
going.
a lot of stuff.
Wait, pause.
A lot
Did
of
the
stuff.
Falcons pump noise into the stadium, or is that just
That's
It's
the
under
thing.
investigation.
It's under investigation from
But
what I
there's,
saw.
you know, some
but there's
talk
all
about
kinds of intrigue that's
Okay.
going on, even when there aren't butts in the seats.
Okay.
That's what we're getting at.
He should be our NFL spokesperson.
I know,
right here.
you
I
want-
love it.
yeah, Brett
There are no
follows.
Butts in the seats.
Butts
I
in the
agree.
seats.
Who's your team that you root for?
I
What do you
root for
think?
the Raiders.
Oh.
I see a silver and
Because this, I
And
don't know if you
black.
can see it unless there's glare, but this is, there we go, Raiders.
I see it.
It's like, I like the Raiders because I'm from Los Angeles, and no offense, I hate the Trojans.
Okay.
And that's largely
I
equivalent.
went to USC. That's why he looked at me.
Yeah.
And my father played football for UCLA.
Yeah.
So UCLA.
Sam is a Bruin too, by the way. So I'm clearly outnumbered. That's okay.
UCLA
Even
is
though
the
you're a
gritty, and the
Stanford alum.
Rams were Orange County. And so the Orange County, I thought that was like, let's have wine and cheese. And the Raiders were like, let's put spikes on our bodies and shout. So I like
Okay.
that.
I feel like that's a pretty accurate depiction of a
I think so too.
Raider fan, right?
So your team is the 49ers, because I always see you in 49er gear, but how is that possible when you're interacting with players from every team?
Well, because I think my history with the 49ers last year, covering the team, I got to know a lot about the players. I knew a lot about the coaches, and just the culture there, I certainly identified with. They're hardworking. They work hard. And what Jim Harbaugh, who's no longer there now, he went to Michigan to coach at the college level. He did a really good job. A Michigan fan, producer Amir over there. I heard a little woo. And I know you're from the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and it was a fun team to cover. You know, when I had covered them last season, they went to the NFC Championship. Unfortunately, they had lost to the Seahawks. Although I don't really feel like I identify with the team because I'm from LA. I
Right.
don't really have, you know, other than I guess the Rams and the Raiders when they were here and I was like this big.
Yeah.
I would just say the 49ers because of my assimilation,
Yeah.
my comfort in covering them and knowing the team.
Totally get it. So you going to Super Bowl, you guys, I think for all of us, even somebody that's not a big football fan, I would die to go to the Super Bowl one year. I think that's on everybody's bucket list. So when you got to go, not only did you get to attend, but you were there all week, you were
Yeah.
covering it, you got to be a part of anything and everything Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Please tell us what that was like. Was it like a boot camp or was it just all fun and
Well,
games?
we were there all week, and even though we were talking about my crazy schedule because we cater to the East Coast, but my schedule, you know, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific time, and it's hard because it's Arizona. We still had that horrible, you know, tough early morning or late at night schedule. So it was really funny because like me and my co-host Rhett, we would be going down and meeting at the lobby and getting in a car taking us to, I want to say it was Radio Row, but I don't know if that was the convention center. I can't remember. It was this huge like stadium where we did our shows, and all of the press and media were set up for what's called Radio Row and getting everybody pumped and excited. And we would go down to the lobby of our hotel room, and it would be like 12 o'clock at night, 12 or 11:30 at night.
That's when Brett and I go to bed.
And I was just going to say, everybody is coming home, or like, they have had a couple cocktails, and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm going to work. Good to see you. My hair is, all messed up, and we were going into work. But listen, even though it was grueling and it was hard and it was hard to see everybody else having fun and we were going to work, the energy there was so electric. It was so contagious. It was a lot of fun. And not to mention how great the game was. You know, even if you weren't a fan, the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Yes.
And let me tell you
Maybe
something.
the best game ever for a Super Bowl.
It could be one of the best games to go down in Super Bowl history. I actually predicted it. Yeah,
No.
I predicted it. I should bring you guys the graphic. I predicted it on our show, one of our first weeks at NFL Network of NFL AM. I predicted.
What did all the NFL AM fans say? Did
I
they
got no
die?
credit.
Oh,
I got none. Like
please.
no one even remembered except for me. I'm like, hey guys, remember like week 1 I called it, and they're like, oh no you didn't. I'm like, I swear, and they're like,
How accurately did you call it?
I said the Patriots were beating the Seahawks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Guys, lotto tickets, give me the numbers.
Yes,
Yeah, right?
I like it. Okay.
I don't know. It was just a
Why
fluke, I guess.
football? Why do you like football so much?
I grew up as a tomboy. I loved sports. It was something that I loved. And then just the fact that the NFL, the football, there's so much action. It's fun, and it's a fun sport to not only be in person to watch, but to watch on TV. It's really easy to watch.
Yes.
I think some sports, not going to name names, but are a little bit harder, maybe a little bit slower to watch. I feel like the NFL, and not only that, they have 32 teams. So it's just, there's such big storylines with every single team, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and also I think you can value every game more, Because baseball is a combination of being really slow and being a billion games a year.
162 games.
Wait,
Yeah.
whoa,
That's a lot of games.
A lot of games.
162.
Okay.
The NFL, we have 16 games, regular season done, and then the postseason.
And now they're like almost every day during the week.
Okay,
Good
we gotta
job.
move on to
Whether you're
Q&A.
making these decisions,
I'm making them all.
I'm
Yes.
all about them.
We got to move on to Q&A. We could talk to Erin about football, I feel like, forever and ever. You
I
get really
can
into
talk
it.
football forever
Yes.
and ever.